Aloha, this is Martina Wing, live from Hawaii. It's Wednesday, 11 o'clock, so that you know the time. It's 11 o'clock on Wednesday here in Hawaii, and I always talk about the manta rays. And I hope you're going to join me here. So nobody's here yet, but we'll see in a few minutes, and I will say hi to everybody. I hope around the world it's going to come together again today. Like last time I had, there we go, here's Carrie. There is Washington. State of Washington, and last time we had New Zealand here and Denmark, and who else? Germany was here. That's right, hello from Seattle. So this is great. Every Wednesday I just bring people together that like to talk about the manta rays, and it's a wonderful, wonderful thing that I like to share my love for these creatures. So today I just wanted to talk about why manta rays doing this unique feeding behavior. Some call it twirling, some call it barrel rolling, some call it loop to loop and stuff like this. So this is what I'm going to talk about today. But before I jump in, I always like to make a note where I live and what I'm talking about. So here is my map. I live in Hawaii. I live on the Big Island of Hawaii. And here is the West Coast. And I live in Kailua Kona, right here. And then up here is the airport location and Keaho. And this is where the manta ray dive takes place on a regular basis. For 30 years, people go in the water with manta rays to see these beautiful creatures. And I'm in this mix for almost 20 years. We will celebrate my anniversary here sometime soon. 20 years that I did my first manta ray dive. And it's just such a joy to be with these animals almost every single night and share my knowledge with all of you guys. And Carrie, I hope you're doing better today, now that you are with me live here. I met Carrie a few years ago on the Manta experience, and we're in close contact since then. And she also is gonna move to Hawaii here sometime soon. So Carrie, a special greeting to you because you had some troubles there with your teeth. So I wish you have all the best, that things are gonna improve here really soon. So for the unique feeding behavior, I'm going to switch the camera around. It's actually not going to be a very long Facebook Live because the answer why manta rays do the barrel rolling and this unique feeding behavior is super simple. But I always have prepared some footage, and I'm going to switch around the camera so you can see some footage. And so it makes all sense. So let me find the button. It's this button here. And here's the question. Let me just... There you go. Why do manta rays do loop-to-loop behavior? So first of all, we need to make also the distinction if it's a barrel roll or it's a loop-to-loop. And I thought I'm going to go very quick into the definition of that. And what I found out is a loop-to-loop is a complete 360-degree circle. It's more complete. It's more commonly used to describe anything doing the same movement. A plane can loop-to-loop in the sky when it turns in a vertical circle. So they can actually move forward while they're loop-to-looping already. So I'm sorry when the camera goes in and out a little bit out of focus here. I'm trying to fix this, but I'm not very successful. Okay. Anyway, so the next one is, and then comparison from the loop-to-loop to a barrel roll. Barrel roll is an acrobatic maneuver in which an aircraft follows a single turn of a spiral while rolling once about its longitudinal axis. That's a lot of English for me. But what it pretty much means, loop-to-loop, I'm going to go back to this very quick. So loop-to-loop means keep going in these circles. And a barrel roll would be you going in and then you just barrel rolling forward. And then you go spiral forward. So I hope that makes sense. Loop-to-loop is this. And barrel roll is going forward while you're doing it. So I'm going to go back to my footage, but the idea was that I just make sure I use the right words. But my husband is always saying loop-to-loop. I always say barrel roll. I think we're kind of both right, but there's a distinction, I guess. But I just move on, and that's okay. All right, so this was the definition. And then real quick, just want to go back to what do manta rays feed on? It's the plankton. And most people know that already, but I always hoped for new viewers. So if you don't know that yet, check out the other Facebook Lives we have. But this is what manta rays feed on. It's plankton. It's the alphabet soup of little creatures, zooplankton or phytoplankton. But what you see here is a light with plankton accumulating. And when we do the manta activity here at night, then you have lights attracting the food, and the manta rays learned to go to the light to feed on that. So just as a basic for this. And then the next one is when the manta ray feeds, the mouth is here in the front. Quite often people confuse them with stingrays and eagle rays and all other rays. But manta rays are filter feeders, and they have a big mouth in the front. And so they just continue then to go through the water and feeding on it. And I have footage of that in a second. And then just a close-up of their mouth, so it makes maybe a little bit more sense from a filter feeding. So what you see here is the gill rakers, where the plankton goes into the mouth, the water goes in, and then the manta rays filter out the plankton, and the back is the esophagus. And so this is how the filter concept works. The water goes through over the gill rakers, over the gills, and comes out on the underside. Again, check out one of the other Facebook Lives we have on the actual feeding. I just want to make this basic, and then switch over to when you see how manta rays feed, how that looks like. And here I have some videos for you guys. So what you see here is Vicky Ray coming forward towards the camera. She wants to get the food in front of us. And actually she's not feeding yet, but you see how she's coming towards us to feed on that plankton. And that accumulated in front of my lights, my video lights. And how she's actually making this beautiful turn right in front of me, because she expects to be food right in front of her. So we would more call that like a figure eight, just going in front of us, or in front of me. Yeah, so she's not barrel rolling at this point. I'm going to do this one more time because it's such a beautiful movement. So she makes a move to the right because she thinks there's lots of food in front of my light. And then she's going to turn again towards my light, like a figure eight. Beautiful. But nothing barrel rolling here, or nothing loop-to-loop behavior, just going forward. And then I have another clip for you guys too, how you see how actually the manta ray has its mouth open and then feeds moving forward. See how the mouth is open? It just feeds forward. There's another one coming in, going over me. But the manta ray is just pushing forward and wants to feed on the plankton in front of us. So one more time. Manta ray is coming towards the camera, towards the lights, means towards the food, and then it's gonna just keep going forward in its movements. Now, what happens when you barrel roll or loop to loop? This is pretty cool footage. Then the manta ray is actually going in circles. It's just circling and circling. And this is Kaylee Ray. She has one cephalic fin missing, and that's a spatter. It's a manta ray we see really on an irregular basis, but it's pretty cool. So anyway, so you see the manta ray going in loops now. And the big question is, why are they doing it? And the answer is so simple. It's called efficiency. The manta ray just wants to get as much food as possible that accumulates in front of the lights that are installed in this long device to hold on to. So again, the manta ray is just going loop to loop because it's called efficiency. Let's not swim away from the food that is right in front of it. And because they're so acrobatic, the manta rays, they just keep looping and trying to get the food into their mouth. So yeah, so that's already the answer to this question. Why do manta rays do this behavior? Because it's efficient. It's not swim away from the food. They're just sticking with it. All right. And then I have another clip for you guys, and I think you will enjoy that. There you can actually see Big Bertha and Hans Ray. And Hans Ray is, here's again Kaylee. She's still doing her own thing, doing the loops. And they can do it. They don't get dizzy, by the way. They don't get dizzy. But then in the next, immediately, like in a second here we go. This is Big Bertha, the big one. And right on top of it is Hans Ray. Now, not only that they're doing the loop-to-loop behavior, no, they are actually, Hans is actually trying to get, he's going after Big Bertha. So this is actually really cool behavior to see that they can multitask. Bertha is trying to eat, and Hans Ray is trying to, get really close. He's a boy, she's a girl, you know what I mean. They're just trying to, you do both. I guess he wants to do both. Bertha doesn't really have it. And then they just keep looping. They're eating as well. The mouth is open. And I think that's now it gets really interesting because Bertha is swimming away. Look at this, this is kind of cool. And then Manta Ray comes into the picture and Hans is like, oh, okay, let's take another girl. So I'm sidetracking a little bit on the footage here, on the subject matter. But you see the mantas are looping and keep going and going. They're feeding. And Hans Ray is actually doing two things at the same time. I think that's pretty cool. So yeah, so if we have an abundance of food around the lights, the manta rays have this unique behavior of looping. And actually it's not only happening during the night experience here in Kona. You ever see manta rays during the daytime too, when there is a current line and there's lots of food. Then they go into a feeding mode like this and be in the current line and they go loop to loop too. So it's not only unique for the night. All right, so I just enjoy this footage so much. In the morning, when I prepare for this, I look at all the footage and do my searches. And I found this and I just really enjoy it. Big Bertha is trying to eat. Hans has other ideas. And this is actually a really cool video for my sister Connie because I named this manta ray after her deceased husband. Anyway, so yeah, and here is switching girls. I guess it didn't really matter for him. So here, this is one Manta Ray and this is Hans Ray. Anyway, so that's the end of the footage. I already gave you the answer. It was a quick one today. Manta rays are unique. Feeding behavior has to do with efficiency. They just want to keep moving in the same place and get the food as much as possible. And that's it for today. So it was a short one, but it's a common question I get from many people all the time. Why do mantas do that? Just because they want to be efficient. Alrighty. So I hope you have a great day. Carrie is saying, thank you for yet another very educational live broadcast. I learned so much. Gene is here too, and he gives me a shaka. I love that too. Thank you, Carrie, and thank you, Gene, for being here. There's more people live. I just don't see it who's here right now. But maybe that could be your call to action today. Why don't you leave a comment, whoever is watching right now, where you're from, or give me a shaka like Gene. I love these little emojis. I'm an emoji person as well. And then I see you next week again with more Manta education. And I have a few things planned. I hope that everything comes together. I'm trying to do some interviews and we'll see how this goes. So guys, thanks for listening today and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.